कुञ्जविहारी राधा माधव कुञ्जविहारी गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरदारी गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Govinda Radhe, Gopal Radhe, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की, पद्मावती वेंकटेश्वर बालाजी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽन्तस्वामिन्निते नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deviyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. I'll show in English for you verse. All right? Welcome all of you to the Bhagavatam class. This is a prayer from Prahlad, 7th canto, 9th chapter and 12th verse. Tasmadaham vigata viklava ishvarasya sarvatmana mahi grinami yatha manisham नीचोदया गुण विसर्गमनु प्रविष्टः भूयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन तस्मादहं विगत विक्लव ईश्वरस्य सर्वात्मना महि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषम् नीचोदया गुण विसर्गमनुप्रविष्टः भूयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन तस्मादहं विगत विक्लव ईश्वरस्य सर्वात्मना महि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषम् नीचोदया गुण विसर्गमनुप्रविष्टः भूयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन. All Prabhuji's. Liveiskconpune मनामहि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषम् नीचोदया गुण विसर्गमनुप्रविष्टः भूयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन. माताजी synonym. Tasmat, therefore, aham, I, Vigata Viklavaha, having given up contemplation of being unfit, Ishwarasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarva Atmana, in full surrender, Mahi, glory, Grinami, I shall chant or describe. Yatha manisham. According to my intelligence. Nichaha. Although low born. My father being a great demon, devoid of all good qualities. Ajaya, because of ignorance. Guna visargam, the material world, wherein the living entity takes birth according to the contamination of the modes of nature. Anupravishtaha, entering into. Puyeta, may be purified. Yena, by which the glory of the Lord. He, indeed, Puman, a person. Anuvarnitena, being chanted or recited. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Therefore, although I was born in a demoniac family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor, as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hears the Lord's glories. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. It is clearly understood that a devotee does not need to be born in a very high family to be rich, to be aristocratic, or to be very beautiful. None of these qualifications will engage one in devotional service. With devotion, one should feel, God is great and I am very small. Therefore, my duty is to offer my prayers to the Lord. Only on this basis can one understand and render service to the Lord. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, 18.55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanjaschasmi tatpataha tato mam tatpato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Thus Prahlad Maharaj decided to offer his best prayers to the Lord, without consideration of his material position. So, see, this verse is very beautiful. You can see here, Tasma, therefore. That means he is arriving at a conclusion, Prahlad. Why he says Tasmat here? You see, because the previous verses he was considering whether to accept the request, acquest the order of Brahma or not. Brahma had told him that, Prahlad, it is for your sake Lord Narasimha has appeared. And even Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, is afraid to go and offer him a garland. There's one verse, what is this? There's one verse which says, Sakshat Shri Preshita Devair Drishtva Tam Mahadadbhutam Adrishta Ashruta Purvatvat Na Upeya Shankita. It says, this verse, if you go around in our Pradakshina Marg, toward the end you will find when Lord Narasimha is sitting on the throne, Prahlad is standing with the garland. There are many steps. In the side you will find Lakshmi ji is being persuaded by one of her maids, assistants. She's telling, Brahma is telling you to go. One pacify the Lord, and she's saying no, like this. You have seen that? So, Sakshat Shri Preshita Devair, all the Devatas requested, oh mother, you are Ardhangini, you are half of the body of the Lord. So you go and pacify him. He is extremely angry. If you go and talk to him, he will cool down. So when she saw the Lord, she said, Adrishta Ashruta Purvatvat. She said, I have never seen my husband in such an angry mood. So I have never heard of it, I have never seen it. So she said, I cannot go. So inspired by Leela Shakti, even Lakshmi behaved like that. Because the Leela Shakti wanted to glorify Prahlad as the hero of the scene. So she inspired Lakshmi to speak like that, and so Lakshmi took a back seat. And after that, Brahma told Prahlad, it's for your sake Lord appeared like this. Prahlad, therefore you are the right person to go and garland the Lord and pacify him. So Prahlad took the garland, but he was also hesitant for various reasons. So you will see in his prayers, the very first prayer he says, Brahmadaya suragana munayo tasiddha satpaikatana vachasam pravahai naraditum puragunai radhunapi pipruhu kim toshtumarhati same harirugrajate. He's saying, he's comparing two things. He's comparing Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all these people standing in front of me. He said they all are highly qualified in reciting Sanskrit poetry, streams of poems, which are called Uttama Shlok, glorifying Supreme Lord. And also, with Ras Chand, Alankar, very nice meters they can recite. As we say, Yam Brahma, Varunendra, Rudra, Maruta, Sunvanti, Divyai, Stavai. With Divya Stava, means divine poetry, they are capable of glorifying the Lord. Where are they and where am I? I am born in Ugrajati, he is saying. Ugrajati means the kulam of Rakshasas. In my body, the demoniac blood is flowing. And the devotees of God like this, Devatas, they all are in Sattva Guna, Sattvaikatana. Whereas people like me, Prahlad said, we are born in Rajaguna and Tamaguna. So Devatas are always aligned with the Lord. As Asuras, we are always turned away from the Lord, act inimically. So with these disqualifications, how is it that Brahma is asking me to approach the Lord? I am utterly unqualified. This is how his first thought happened in Prahlada's mind when he was told to go. So he was considering, on one hand, he cannot reject the order of such a great personality like Brahma. On the other hand, he felt himself utterly unqualified. So, sometimes people wonder, in the path of spiritual life, when you feel utterly unqualified, will it not lead to some inferiority complex or feeling low about yourself? In the outside world, people always say, be confident, be bold. If you think you can, you can. Things like that, people speak like that, isn't it? So, what about this? You see, when a devotee is humble, the meaning of that is the devotee has no focus on self-importance. The devotee's mind is fully absorbed with remembrance of the Lord. How Lord is great. So the more a devotee becomes humble, the heart of the devotee is flooding with Krishna thoughts, Krishna activities, Krishna pastimes, Krishna qualities. So absorbing the mind in that, the devotee feels super confident. The devotee doesn't feel low. Because of the gopis, it is said, they remembered Krishna so much they forgot their own existence completely. They forgot who they are, what they are. That's why it is said, Deha smriti nahi ar samsara kopa kahan tar. It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Deha smriti nahi ar, which means they never had a smriti of their own deha only. Therefore, there was no dehatma buddhi. They only thought Krishna. So their minds and hearts became filled with Krishna remembrance, and their hands and mouth became fixed with activities, kaya, vacha, manasa, in service to the Lord. So this state of humility takes away bodily consciousness. It fills our heart with remembrance of the Lord. On the other hand, one who is feeling inferiority complex, they are very, very self-centered. They always think about themselves only. Am I fair enough? Am I good looking enough? Is my dress smart enough? Is my walk great enough? They are always thinking, my walk, my appearance, external appearance, my my following. And so that is one of the reasons in the modern days, the Facebook has become very famous, because you can put everything about yourself and pass it to thousands of people. Because it gives you opportunity for expanding your self self-importance. So what happens by increasing our self-importance? We become stupid in bodily consciousness. On the other hand, when we become filled with Krishna remembrance, it's the best way to go back to Godhead. Like Krishna says, those who remember me at the time of death come back to me. Correct? No? So the humility produces Krishna remembrance. And also, when a devotee considers himself in front of Krishna, Krishna is like a big tree, and we are like a small grass. Vrikshayiva stabdo divideshtatyekastenedam purnam purushena sarvam. What is that verse? Yasmat param na paramasti kinchit yasmat naniyo joyosti kinchit vrikshayiva stabdo divideshtatyekastenedam purnam purushena sarvam. This is a Shruti mantra. It says here, Vrikshayiva stabdo, the Lord is compared to a big, large tree. And the upside down tree is the material existence. So the Upanishadic mantra, this mantra says, Lord is like a big tree. And who are we? We are like a small grass in front of the tree. We are tiny and the Lord is great. So when a devotee gets this consciousness, like he says, Dhuli sadrisham, Ainanda tanaja kinkaram, Patitam mamishame bhavam buddhav, kripaya tava pada pankaja, stita dhuli sadrisham. I am like a small grass, and Lord is like a big tree. So by thinking like this, a devotee is always jolly, staying under the shade of the Lord, shelter of the Lord, peacefully. So the smallness of the devotee doesn't make a devotee feel unhappy about oneself. Rather, the smallness actually makes a devotee feel that I need to depend on the Lord and take shelter of the Lord, be in Lord's custody, be aligned with His will, be directed by Him, be used by Him. So, he's saying, aham vigata viklavaha. I have been, now here he's saying, after saying all those verses of humility, tasmat, he's saying. But one verse before this, what he says, the previously, I think it is 9th verse, I think, 7.9.9. He says, Mannedana vijana rupa tapashrutaujas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogat Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktim tutosha bhagavan gajayotapaya. There Prahlad discovered that, see, for the Lord, bhakti is all important. None of the 12 qualifications. They are not very important for him. So which means, I have disqualifications, but one need not consider at all about one's qualification or disqualification. The only thing that matters is whether you have bhakti. Now somebody may say, Prahlad, do you think you already have bhakti? Will it not cause you pride? Therefore you will say, Anuvarnitena, he says. Anu means in parampara. My ability to describe the glories of the Lord is coming in Guru Parampara. The word Anu, if you put, immediately who comes? Narada comes immediately. Narada has given me bhakti, and therefore I am carrying the commodity of bhakti, and that is enough to approach the Lord and offer prayers to Him. So, our joy of possessing Krishna consciousness actually reminds us of our spiritual master and all the other Vaishnavas who have contributed to our growth in spiritual life. We will never disconnect ourselves from that mercy. Remember, I was telling you in the last class, there is a copper wire lying on the floor. But another copper wire is also lying on the floor, but it is connected to the socket. The one connected to the socket is bringing electricity, and it can light up a lamp. Similarly, those who are properly connected in Guru Parampara can enlighten others and benefit themselves also. But if we disconnect from Guru Parampara, we are like a copper wire lying on the floor with no use, because it doesn't carry the mercy of current. So, in this way, Prahlada's confidence comes from his connection to Narada, and having received the seed of bhakti from Narada, and understanding that bhakti alone is enough to approach the Supreme Lord. Nothing else is required. Like Lord says, Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya aham evam vidhorjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatpena praveshtum cha parantapa naham vedair na tapasa na danena na chejjaya shakyayeva vido drashtum drashtavanasi mam yatha. He's saying, naham vedair, not by studying all the Vedas extensively. Na tapasa, not by austerities. Nachejjaya, not by elaborate yajnas and worship and everything. Shakke vavido drashtum drishtavan asimamyata. So he's saying that only one big qualification that one requires is the devotion. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam 𝗏𝗏𝐺𝐸 also, Lord says, Na mam sadayati yogo, na sankyam dharma uddhava. Similar verse. Namam sadayati yogo. But not by yoga, not by jnana or sankhya. Na sankyam dharma uddhava. Or dharmanishta. Somebody is a Prakka follower of Varnashrama like Daksha Prajapati, isn't it? Or like Vishwamitra, somebody is a very severe performer of tapasya or something. Na mam sadayati yogo na sankyam dharma uddhava. And then? Na swadhyayas tapastyago yata bhaktir mamorjita, is saying. Even by extensive study, one cannot understand the Lord, he says. Na swadhyayas tapastyago. Not by renunciation. Yata bhaktir mama urjita. Bhakti gives me inspiration, Lord is saying. Bhakti that resides in the heart of my bhakta. Nothing can inspire me like that bhakti that inspires me, he says. So now Prahlad has understood. Therefore uses the word tasmat. Therefore, he's saying, aham vigata viklava. I am going to give up my contemplation of being unfit. Sometimes you feel shy that you don't have a qualification. Somebody tells you to do something. On one hand, you have a desire to do it. On the other hand, you have hesitation to do it. Because why you have hesitation, later on your equals will tease you. They will say, hey, just because you are told to do Guru Puja on Prabhupada appearance day, you went ahead and did Guru Puja, you think you are very qualified? There are so many other senior devotees. And you may say, no, Prabhu, I didn't do it. They called me, so I went. They will call you just to encourage you. Still you went. Sometimes they may tease you, isn't it? On the other hand, you also feel that if I get to do that service, I will attract mercy. That will bring mercy. So you have a little desire also to take advantage of the opportunity to serve also. Just like in one of the songs he says, Dalita Vishaka Yadi Yata Saki Vrinda Ajnaya Korivo Seva Charanaravinda. He's saying, I will stand by the side of Lalita and Vishaka, and when they perform puja for the Lord, for Shamsundar, Radha Shamsundar, what I will do? I will give the agarbatti or the lamp or the kerchief or the water or the shankar, things like that. I will assist. So now while assisting Lalita and Vishaka, there is also a desire in the heart of Narottama Das Thakur in his Siddha Deha. He has a desire. What is the desire? I also wish to serve the Radha Shamsundar personally. But not independently. But with the blessing and mercy of Lalita and Vishaka. Therefore he says, no, that is second line. First line, what is that? No. That also says, Mala you can make that also. Later on you can send it through somebody to offer. One more. Shama Gauri Ange Devo Chandane Roganda Chamara Dulavo Kave Heri Mukha Chandra. He's saying, when will the time come when I can apply the chandan on the Shama Gauri, means on the Sham Varna Krishna and Gaur Varna Gauri, our Shrimati Radharani. Shama Gaur Angeri Bo. I will apply chandan on their forehead. Have you seen they make designs on Krishna's face, in the eyes and cheeks? You have seen that? Yeah, some devotees are very expert in doing that. So when will the time come when I can decorate the Lord or apply chandan on his forehead? Similarly, apply for Shrimati Radharani also. So he's saying, Shama Gauri Ange Dibo Chandanera Gandha Chamara Dulabo. And then I can stand by their side and I can do chamar for them. Chamara Dulabo Kabe Heri Mukha Chandra. I will see their beautiful faces and I will also do chamar. Somebody may say, hey, you really directly want to serve? Do you want to override your superiors and serve the Lord? He says, no. It is not considered overriding, because with the blessing and permission of Guru only, a devotee approaches the Lord. Like you see when you go to the puja room also, you do the Bhuta Shuddhi prayers. Huh? You get rid of your gross body, nasty body. You get rid of your subtle body also. Huh? And then you do the Shodasha Upachar. And the first thing you take blessing from Guru. And then Srila Prabhupada. And then only you go to worship the divine couple. In this way, sometimes we would prefer to assist. Sometimes we get a greed to serve directly also. Is that greed good or bad? That is good. That's not considered bad. That greed is considered bad when we consider ourselves better than our superiors. Then that greed is condemnable. And the greed is glorified when we are given an opportunity to serve, and we also get an access to the Lord to serve. In fact, it is said Srimati Radharani, when she puts Lalita Vishaka on the swing and swings Shamsundar and Lalita, or Shamsundar and Vishaka, she feels 10 billion times more happiness. Srimati Radharani feels. And other gopis also, when they put Radharani in the swing with Krishna and they swing, they get 10 million times also. They also get so much happiness, it is said. So, sometimes a preacher, he brings one of his boys to a senior devotee, and he goes and introduces Prabhuji. This is the best boy in my group. Such a sincere devotee. Prabhuji is so sincere, he is more sincere than me also. Like that some brahmacharis come and say. And the boy is shocked. He is saying, I am more sincere than him. I am a junior devotee. And he is 20-year-old in Krishna consciousness. I have just now come. How this Prabhuji is saying, I am more sincere than him. But actually some devotees feel like that. This boy, when I was like this boy, I was always running away from devotees. They had to catch and bring me. But this boy is coming running to me. He is more sincere than me, like that he feels. So, and the boy thinks I should not override my superior and directly go to the senior. But then this preacher says, the boy, you work under Prabhuji. Prabhuji will give you some instructions. You follow that. You are getting a very good seva, you do it. So this is the right type of relationship. Not that the junior preacher, he thinks, I will keep the boy with myself only. And the senior is asking, can you give me that one boy? No, Prabhuji, he is very busy, he has no time. He has time only for me. That is envy, correct? No? We want to hold people like this sometimes. And we fear to introduce them to our senior, because sometimes we fear that if they become, they get access to senior, they will sit on my head and they will not respect me. Hamara izzat ki baat hai. Like that somebody thinks. So there is a material conception, spiritual conception. Spiritual conception, one very happily, just like Radharani introduces the devotees to Krishna, like that. And like for example, one day Raghunath Das went to Swarup Damodar Gosai and said, I have some questions and I wish to ask Lord Chaitanya Dev. Can you please take me to him? So he took him, Swarup Damodar. Yes, let's go. So when he presented the questions, he asked the question, say, I have become a Vairagi now. What is my duty? I am just coming and staying here in Jagannath Puri, just chanting. Do you have any order for me, what I should do? And Lord Chaitanya told him, see, I have handed you over to Swarup Damodar. So you are called as Swarupera Raghu. Swarupera Raghu means Swarup Damodar is your counselor. And you are his counselee. So he is capable to guide you. I don't have to guide you. But since you have approached me, and I will not deny, I will tell you some things to do. Then he said, Balana kaibe, balana paribe, hridete sarvada radha krishna sevibe, gramya vartana kahibe, gramya vartana shunibe. Do not hear prajalpa talks from anybody. Do not speak prajalpa, useless talks. And do not eat very opulently. Do not dress very opulently. In this way, he gave some instructions to him. And then he told him at the end, all these instructions can be more lucidly explained to you by Swarup Damodar. He is capable of explaining these things to you. So you can approach him for more details. I have just given you the bullet points, principles. Take this and then he will explain more to you, he said. So you can see the relationship between these three levels. Raghunath Das, Swarup Damodar and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So In this way, the understanding in Vaishnava line is so sweet and non-envious. Swarup Damodar doesn't fear to take Raghunath Das to Lord Chaitanya. Nor does Lord Chaitanya tell Swarup Damodar, you move aside now, I will take care of him. You come here, I will take care. He doesn't say that. It's a very good understanding. Similarly, here Prahlad feels, I am very small, these devatas are all great, and Lord Narasimha is sitting on the throne. And these people are all associates of the Lord. Devatas are called as Narayana Paraveda Deva Narayanangaja. Bhagavatam says that. So devatas are all like assisting limbs of the Lord. And who am I? I am in the Parapaksh, Asura Paksh, who are always inimical to demigods. And I have no qualification to glorify the Lord, he feels. And then he considered that, yes, it is true that I am born in an Asura family. At the same time, somehow or other, by unimaginable good fortune, in my life one Vaishnava came, Narada. And by contact with Narada, by hearing from him, I am carrying the seed of bhakti gifted by him. So because this one blessed gift I have, I think with this bhakti gift I can offer a prayer to Lord. And why should I offer? That will come now. You will say. Now he's saying, I'm going to give up contemplation of being unfit. So he's having confidence in devotion despite demonic birth. Ishwarasya, Supreme Lord. Sarvatmana means with body, mind, words and heart. That is the meaning of Sarvatmana. Completely, complete dedication. Mahigrinami, I shall glorify, which is the duty of every living being. Actually, every living being is meant to glorify the Lord and become blessed and fortunate. If we don't glorify the Lord, we will definitely glorify Maya. It's 100% guaranteed. He was telling, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was telling, one man was very eager to get married to one beautiful woman. And at last he got married. Somehow both parents agreed and he got married. But his wife used to tell him that, see, don't have so much moha for me. Moha means illusion. Don't be so mad after me. See, as a husband, you should be mad after Krishna, not after me. So you run after Krishna and I should run behind you. But you are running behind me. She was good looking, very attractive. She was very madly attracted. So one day when he approached her, she kicked on his head. So the man was telling her, oh wife, your feet are so soft, I am worried that my hair will prick your feet. So Maharaj was telling this. Somewhere Kalidas is writing a poem on this. He was telling. So Maharaj is telling how the Mohagrasta Purush, he can be like a fool number one. Correct? No? Actually, we should glorify the tender feet of the Supreme Lord. And he's glorifying the feet of his wife. So, in this way, you will see the duty of every living being is to glorify the lotus feet of the Lord. Even Bharat Maharaj, when he became attached to the deer, he was telling that I think the moon in the sky is looking down on earth. I think it is eager to see the lotus footprints of my very dear. Like that he was telling. It's sort of amazing how people can become illusioned. You can see that. So, lotus feet is for whose lotus feet? So when you say Kamala Nayanam, that's Kamala Nayanam of Supreme Lord Krishna. So one boy was asking me, Prabhuji, is for Krishna is the only person having Kamala Nayanam. In this world also we see some people with Kamal Nayan. But this Kamal Nayan, what people may have, boy or girl may have beautiful eyes, but this is not long lasting. This initially it's attractive, but eventually the beauty is gone in this world. Beauty fades away. But Krishna's beauty is everlasting Kamal Nayanam. Everlasting lotus feet. It's like that. So, that's the point. It's a duty of every living being to glorify Krishna. You glorify Krishna, we become purified also. And that's the duty of every living being. And then we get elevated. And we glorify Maya, then we get submerged in samsara, in this world. Yata manisham, according to my intelligence. And Prahlad said, I am not a great scholar like these devatas. I can offer a simple prayer, but you are such a wonderful Lord that even if somebody offers a prayer in ignorance about you, And this is one very nice verse in Uddhava Gita. Uddhava tells about the Lord, my dear Lord, there are so many people in this world who have no idea of how great you are. They glorify you with their ignorance. Even their prayer also you accept. It is your kindness that, for example, if somebody has graduated from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, he has done his postdoctorate fellowship. Here he studied in IIT, then he studied in MIT, and then he did all that. If somebody is saying, today we have a Prabhuji who is so glorious, he has passed his 10th standard, if somebody says. Isn't it? Somebody glorifies him. It will be an insult or not? Imagine if any of you are so qualified, somebody introduces you like that, you will immediately stop him and say, wait a minute, hey, did you read my introduction or not? But Lord is so kind, even in ignorance, if somebody glorifies him with limited knowledge, Lord says, Bechara, he only knows this much about me. No problem, you be happy in your ignorance. Lord accepts that also. Lord doesn't mind, he doesn't argue. Hey, why you are not knowing my full? Because is it possible for any of us to know his full glory? Actually, it is an unending process. In fact, when we go closer to the heart of the Acharyas, then you can come to know Krishna's glory to some degree. Because dharmasya tattvam hitam guhaya. Even by reading scriptures, we cannot understand Krishna's glory. But by hearing the Acharyas, to some degree, Krishna's kindness, his tenderness, his beauty, his sweetness, his good qualities, pastimes, we can understand to some degree. But great Acharyas fathom, Krishna's qualities to a very great degree. But he says here, Nicha Ajaya, although I am low born due to ignorance, due to my material birth, therefore I have a limited intelligence also. Yadamanisham. In the Bhagavatam, the example is given. Different birds can fly in the sky to different extent. Like you all have seen a small sparrow, can fly probably here up to the ceiling, he can fly. There are others, like parrots fly little bit higher in the sky. Eagle flies even much higher, isn't it? Similarly, different speakers and glorifiers of the Lord can glorify the Lord to different degrees. One of the persons who can glorify the Lord the most is Anantashesh, and with thousands of mouths. I was in Brahmachari Yatra recently. His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj was speaking about Anantashesh glorifying Supreme Lord. So he was telling, I didn't know this. He said Anantashesh has thousands of mouths, and each mouth is giving a different Bhagavatam class. Not same. That was one thing I was amazed. And more amazing than that was, in front of every mouth, there is a big audience like this sitting. In front of every mouth, he is glorifying with every mouth. Like that he said. When I heard that, then one thought immediately arose in my mind. Like if Anantashesh is glorifying with thousands of mouths, and in front of each mouth, one person, groups of thousands of Vaishnavas are sitting and hearing that particular katha. Similarly, the same Anantashesh is empowering all the gurus to speak the glories of the Lord. Correct, no? Isn't it? So, from each Vaishnava's mouth, when glorification comes, that is why we say at the end of a lecture, we say, Aaj pravachan ko viram dete hain. Viram means what? Today we are putting the lecture to rest, which means after rest you are going to get up tomorrow morning. That means the glory will continue. You never say, Aaj Bhagavan ke gunagan ko samapt karte hain. We don't say like that. We can never stop it. So it was so inspiring to hear that. So in this way, there is unlimited glories of the Lord. Nantam gunanam agunasya jagnur yogeshwaraye bhavapadma. It says, what that verse? Kona vatrupyet rasavid katayam mahattamaikantaparāyanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagnur yogeshwaraye bhavapadma mukhya. Is saying that, the Anantashesh has not found an end glorifying the Lord. There's so much of the glories. What is the next verse? Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano mahatnamaikanta parayanasya Hare rudaram charitam vishuddham sushrushatam no vidano tu vidvan. There he says, you are Bhagavat Pradhan, and we are Sushrushatam. We are eager to hear the glories of the Lord, and you glorify only the Lord. You don't talk any nonsense. You always glorify only the Lord. Your mind is fixed your intelligence is one-pointedly fixed on the Lord's lotus feet. So you are a Bhagavad Pradhan, we are Shushushatam, and Lord Hari is Hare Udaram, Charitam Vishuddham. Lord Hari is extremely magnanimous, and his Charita is delightful. Therefore, he said, it's a very good situation. The speaker is there, hearer is there, and we are ready to hear. Like that, the Shavanagada Rishis are glorifying Suta Goswami. So in this way, Guna Visargam Anupravishtaha. I have entered into this material world, trapped in the cycle of karma. Puyeta yena 𝐏𝐫𝐵𝗺. But such a living entity, who is trapped by karma in the cycle of birth and death, gets purified by the power of devotional service. Therefore, it's a golden opportunity for me to purify my heart by glorifying you. When I have got an opportunity, why should I miss that? Therefore, I will take advantage of it and I will glorify you. Anuvarnitena, I will describe your glories by repeating what I have heard from Narada. Like that, he says, a very beautiful verse. See, in Prahlad, you find both qualities are there. Karpanya is also there, Shraddha is also there. He is humble. He doesn't consider, I am very great. He says, I am born in a demoniac family. At the same time, he knows the glory of bhakti. Even a sinner, Krishna says that, Apichet Sudaracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak. See, Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak means even a sinner is allowed to chant the holy name. Once one rickshaw-wala was telling, Swamiji, I cannot chant because I eat meat, he said. I said, therefore you should chant, I told him. If you chant, then meat will go away. Everybody is allowed to chant. Even sinners are allowed to chant. So, Ananya Bhak, Krishna is saying, even a worst of the sinners is allowed to chant the holy name, he says. So, not only that, Krishna gives assurance also. He says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvat chantim nigacchati, kaunteya pradijanihi, ame bhakta pranashyati. So, Krishna is saying, if a sinner chants, he gets purified and he will again be reinstated in purity, he says. So bhakti is not dependent on any of the material identities like the low birth or something. So Prahlad had both humility and confidence in the holy name also. Similarly, the Harinam, you see, Puyeta yena 𝐏𝐵𝐵𝗺, he says, Anuvarnitena, by describing, by glorifying the Lord's name and his fame. Not only Harinam, but also Harikatha. When you glorify these two, immediately one gets purified. Another interesting thing, the Lord is Bhavagrahi, isn't it? Yeah. If a devotee has a sincere heart, makes an effort, Lord, a devotee never should think, I am qualified to offer prayers. Prahlad never thought like that. He thought that I am sinful, but Narada has sanctified my birth. And Narada has gifted me with devotion service. So therefore I will chant Anuvarnitena. As he says. See here, something interesting is coming up. See here. Vigata Viglava no longer hesitant. Why he is no longer hesitant? Why he is no longer hesitant? Because bhakti is not dependent on birth. Bhakti depends only on one thing. Desire to serve is the only qualification. So actually in this world, the jiva's desire is very much respected by the Lord. Like Prabhupada had a desire to preach Krishna consciousness, even with a body which was not having that sufficient energy. He had a couple of heart attacks. His body was like 69 or 70 years old. With no proper bodily Shakti resources. Prabhupada went only with that enthusiasm and eagerness and the desire to fulfill the order of his spiritual master. Think about that, isn't it? Like we have body now, we have some energy, we have some strength. So sometimes it's very great paradox. We may be young and may have energy, but we may not have the desire. And Prabhupada is old, but the body doesn't have enough energy. Still he went. And Krishna said, oh, you have so much enthusiasm, then I will take care of you. Krishna took care of everything for him, and then following 12 years is his history. What miracle happened? So, desire to serve is the qualification in the path of bhakti. Like somebody may say, I'm not rich enough to serve. So the story Prabhupada says one Puranic story, you know that Pratishthanapur, Brahman, he cooked with golden vessels, silver vessels, everything in his mind only. Manasa Puja. Finally, he put his finger to test whether sweet rice is hot or cold, and his finger got blackish. He jumped up, and Narayana laughed in Vaikuntha. Lakshmiji asked, my dear Lord, you are enjoying some joke. Why don't you share with me also? So Lord said, look at this Brahman, what a wonderful devotee he is. Although he has nothing, he is penniless beggar. He is wearing tattered clothes with a skinny body. But his greed for serving us is so great that in his mind he created gold vessel, silver vessel, and he made dozens of items of menu of bhoga for us. But he put his finger in the sweet rice and he really got it burnt. When he jumped up, I laughed, he said. Lakshmiji was so touched, she said, oh, such a wonderful devotee, you should bring him to Vaikuntha immediately. Send a bird carrier. Immediately Garuda was sent to bring him back. So, in this way, the Lord is easy to be served if you have only the desire. Everything else will be taken care. So, Prahlad takes courage not from ego, but from surrender, you see. Here is a nice example here. See, for example, if a small kid approaches his father and the child happens to be a prince, will he have any fear to approach the father who is a king? There's no fear. Generally, thieves may fear the king. Some other people in Praja may fear the king is a big man. Whether can be, you can't barge into king's room except unless you are a prince. If you are a prince, you don't need any permission from this thing, isn't it? Like my father was working in a government college as a head of the department of English, So he was working for about 35 years. So when I would go to the college, sometimes in the afternoon, I would just go straight to his room. One day when he was going to his room, somebody stopped me and asked, hey, who are you? Did you take permission from our HOD? He said, what HOD? Is my father only. I said, I don't need any permission. I went and sat on his table. My father was sitting in a chair, I was sitting in a table and talking to him because he's my father, isn't it? So, the child has no fear. This is only Prahlad has no fear. When Prahlad went up and he bowed down to Lord Narasimha and touched his feet, and Narasimha felt a soft head touching his feet. So immediately, Lord with his broad eyes, he looked down. Who is that? That's one famous verse. What is that famous verse? Swapadamoolam patitam tabarvakam vilokya devaha kripaya pariplutaha uttapya tatchirshni adadat karambujam kalarhi vitrasta diyam kritabhayam. Very, very beautiful verse. He says swapadamoolam, at his own lotus feet, patitam, fallen, arbakam, child. A small tender child is putting his head on the feet of Lord Narasimha. Narasimha is fearsome, even for the devatas, what to speak of asuras. But the child has no fear, he is putting his head on his feet. Vilokya devaha, the Lord was seeing with his eyes at the child. And immediately the Lord's heart erupted with ecstasy. He couldn't control his ecstasy, Lord Narasimha. Already he is pleased with him for his devotional service. For so many years he has done Prahlad in all situations. Lord already wanted to pat him and embrace him and glorify him. And the child is coming and falling at his feet. Vilokya devaha kripaya pariplutaha, he says. In great compassion, just as any mother or father's heart will be touched by the child coming and any tender child attracts anyone's attention. What to speak of somebody who is such a pure devotee of the Lord. Uttapya, Lord immediately lifted him up and put his hand on his head, Prahlad's head. And the Lord's hand was like a tavakara. It was like a kamal. And Prahlad became completely enlightened. Already he was enlightened by Narada. Now he became even more enlightened. Whatever prarabdha karma must have brought some impurities in his body because of the blood flowing in his body was connected to his father. That became completely purified. He became a pure devotee, Prahlad. Like that he says. So, Sarvatmana mani grihana, mahi grinami yatamanisham. Sarvatmana, I told you, heart, mind, words and glorification. See, in the path of devotion service, the intent matters more than poetic Sanskrit. Sometimes people may make a very good rhythmic poetry, but our intention with which you offer the poetry is more important. In bhakti, intent is more important than content, we say. So, not the grammar, but the gratitude in the heart. So, your heart full of gratitude, even if we speak some babyish prayer, Lord is ready to accept. Like, when we chant the holy name also, we can have a babyish prayer to the Lord. My dear Lord, I am struggling with my offenses. I am struggling with my mind, which is running all around except you. Except hearing the holy name, my mind is ready to do everything else. Like that, if somebody prays Lord in a babyish way, the Lord is ready to accept the prayer also. Because Lord feels pity for us. So, and expressing our gratitude. Like Kaliya, for example, his wives used to speak so much glories of Krishna. He hated it. He used to tell his wives, shut up, I don't need to hear all this. But they would keep speaking time to time. So he would hear like this and leave it like this. He didn't take it very seriously, Kaliya. But then, when he saw his wives glorifying the Lord now, after that he got a turn also to glorify. So now he tried his best to recollect and remember as much as he grasped. He offered prayer. So he was telling the Lord, my dear Lord, in this world, there are 8.4 million species. And you are the father of all the species. You supply food to all of them. And you only have created their different natures. And we are Sarpajati. So what do you expect us to behave? We are by nature envious. So I became envious. Abhi aap jo karna kijiye. Marna to mariye, bachana to bachaiye. He said, if you want to save me, you save me. If you want to kill me, you kill me. Narayanam, Tamaranam, Sharanam Jagama. Like that he said, I am surrendering to you. Now I am at your feet. I am at your mercy now. Whatever you wish, you may do. The Lord felt pity for him, especially because his wives were pure devotees. The Lord spared his life. So in this way, you will see everybody should learn to offer a prayer. And we don't have to be grammatically great. We are not Sanskrit scholars. And it may not be very poetic and rhythmic also sometimes. But even if it is a babyish prayer, Lord is ready to accept. Yeah. Even if there is a limited intelligence, Lord is ready to accept it if there is love behind it. Like for example, that's what I was telling you. Like I went to one village many years ago. This was one village. First I went from city to the town and town to the village. And in that village they had a small youth group. They told me, Prabhu, we are ashamed to call you. We only have 15 youths come. Even if you call for a prerana program, we will have only 15 to 20 will be there in our village. We have just begun 6 months ago. Can you visit our village? I visited. So they had one sound system which was creating a lot of problem. They had a box, typical old systems, isn't it? They had. I said, even without it, I can speak, no problem. Number is not very big, I can manage. I said. So the boy who was introducing me, he said, today we have a very great devotee youth preacher, international youth preacher has come to our place. And Prabhu has done his degree from ITI, he was telling. And I was introducing. One of his friends was telling, hey, IIT. He said, yeah, correct, that's what I said, no, ITI. Again he was saying. So, but I didn't mind his ITI. Why? Because he has a lot of affection for me. He has so much respect. He personally cooked so many items. Personally, he was serving me prasad. He came to drive me and drop me in the station. And I don't know, actually, I'm not his, blood relative, but he feels so much affection for me as if I'm one of his family members. So when there is affection, even if, he calls me an ITI, I don't mind it. You call me ITI or IIT, whatever you want. So that's what he's saying. Even if intelligence is limited, but if there is love behind it, it touches our heart. Correct, no? You all ask yourself also, if somebody with a good intention is making an effort to do something for you and it doesn't happen, still you will be grateful to that person because the person made an effort with good intention. Correct, no? 𝐏𝐫𝐚𝐡𝐲𝐚𝐦 𝗏𝐵𝐴 though low born due to ignorance, I have entered this material world. Prahlad admits his background, that he is a son of Hiranyakashipu. So he is not proud, but he is humble. Ugrajati, he knows that. Yeah. Due to karma and ignorance, to guna visarga and ajaya, it says. So, but no need to wait for purification. Start chanting and get purified and continue. What is the meaning of this? Okay, even if you are fallen, do you have to wait to become completely purified, after which you can glorify the Lord? No. You can be getting purified side by side. And you can also chant and glorify the Lord also. So that's what Prabhupada has made this society. You begin the process of chanting, get first initiation, get second initiation, continue chanting. You may become a pure devotee over a period of time. It may take a long time. But meanwhile, we are allowed to go out and distribute books. We can preach to people. That permission is given by the acharyas. So, if somebody says, after I become pure devotee, I will give my first Bhagavatam class. I don't know how many lifetimes it will take, isn't it? So we can, Prabhupada said, hear 2 sentences, speak 2 sentences, Prabhupada said. So, and such humility of Prahlad, admitting his background, is not self-hate. It's acknowledging our smallness before Lord's greatness. That's why I told you, Lord is like a great tree, Vatabhriksha, big tree, and we are like a small grass. So by recognizing our true position, we can feel great bliss by that. Puyeta yena hi puman anuvarnitena. So even a fallen person is purified by hearing or speaking the glories of Krishna. So the intention behind hearing and speaking the glories of Krishna is to please the Lord, at the same time get purified ourselves. Purification of heart and glorification of Lord. That is the intention behind the glorification. So Lord is pleased to see us glorifying Him, not because He is getting glories. He is happy that this child has come in the right line now. This jiva was suffering for millions of years. Now he is coming back to me. Lord is very happy. But we get purified by glorifying Him. Anumaranitena in parampara. Like Ganges water, for example, by touch of Lord's feet, the water became sacred. Similarly, when we offer glorification of prayers of the Lord, it's like Lord's lotus feet touching our heart. There is a verse which says that, Yatpada seva biruchis tapasvinam aneka janmo pachitam malam diyah sadyakshinotyan vahamedati sati yada padangushta vinisrita sarit. Just like Lord's lotus feet touched the Viraja waters, it became Ganges. Similarly, when you glorify the Lord, Lord's lotus feet is touching your heart. Then our heart becomes glorified, purified. Our dirty consciousness becomes pure when it touches Harikatha, you see. So in this way, 𝐏𝐫𝐵𝗺 Shudra, you know that bhakti is beyond Sriya Vaishya Sata Shudra Te Api Anti Param Gatim. Actually, why Krishna is saying this verse in the Gita, the women generally are very much worried about husband, children, like Kayadu. She was also hearing Bhagavatam. But Prahlad heard it very attentively and became a pure devotee. But Kayadu was very much in anxiety about 2 things. What will happen to my husband? That was one worry she had. Another worry she had was, my child is in Indra and Devata should not capture us in the absence of Narada and try to kill my child. She had the anxiety for the child, anxiety for the husband. So, but on the other hand, she got some seva bhav opportunity. She got some opportunity to make garland and things in devotional service. Narada spoke to her, but Narada was actually speaking to the child in the womb. He wanted to, he knew that there's a Mahabhagavad devotee. He preached to him. Now, in this way, even if a woman may not be very philosophical minded, if she develops eagerness to serve the Lord through some services, or the Shudras, they are the 4th category people who run away from the Gurukula. They are not interested in studying, but they are interested in hard work. They will do work. So if they are ready to render some devotional services, and those who are like Chandalas, Yavanas, if they chant the holy name, even they all can be delivered. So the beauty of Bhakti Path is this. Prabhupada says in Shankara line, they will say, if you are not a sannyasi, don't come. They say the mass of people, lakhs of people may see their sannyasi on a chariot or something, and they just offer them obeisances. But the mass of people are not given an experience of the Lord. They are not given an experience of getting closer to the Lord. They just adore the saints, that's all. On the other hand, in the path of bhakti, every child, every woman, every man, every old man, everybody can get the experience of bhakti bhava. Pratyaksha dharmyam susukam kartum avyam. Joyfully, everybody can take part in this bhakti. That's the beauty of bhakti path. unlike the jnana path. And what is the humility of a bhakta? Despite being Mahajan, Prahlad is feeling himself very ordinary. Huh? Yeah. On the contrary, his demoniac father was proud. Just see. Yeah, qualified devotee is humble, a demoniac living in it is proud. Correct, no? That's what we learn. Therefore, the real opulence is to be humble before God. If because Hiranyakashipu was not humble before God, he created his own grave. Huh? Whereas one who is humble before God, despite opulences, even Lord is touched. Like if somebody has Aishwarya, like we say, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, and they are also humble, definitely they have received the costless mercy of the Lord. Yeah. So Lord Chaitanya also said this, humility is the ornament of a devotee. Prabhupada says that. Yeah. Harinama and Harikatha, they burn the sins. Like Lord Krishna told Uddhava, in the forest, sometimes there is a forest fire. Four-legged animals can run away, but the snakes cannot run because there are dry leaves down. They catch fire very, very fast, and the snake will definitely be killed. Similarly, there are snake-like desires in our heart. But if you are doing Harinam and Harikatha regularly, they burn away the snake-like material desires. They'll be burned away. But for that, we have to have overflood of Harinam and Harikatha. Yeah. Some questions for us to consider, see. Why does Prahlad emphasize his low birth if devotion is beyond birth? Think about this. See, somebody may say, now that I got a guru like Narada Muni, I have bhakti bhava, so I don't have to think about my low birth or my life prior to coming to Krishna consciousness. If somebody thinks like that, what is likely to happen? One can become proud. See, Prabhupada told about the word Goswami. Indian Goswamis coming in the line of Nityananda or Advaita, they should not be proud that we are the Goswamis, and anybody from America, Australia, Canada, foreign bodied people, and they take sannyas in ISKCON, they should not look down at them. They should think that anybody can qualify to become a Goswami, he said. At the same time, Prabhupada said, somebody is born abroad and now they have become connected to ISKCON and then they get sannyas. They should not think that now that we have taken sannyas, now we are also Goswamis equal to Nityananda line or Advaita line Goswamis. They also should not be proud. They should, like His Holiness Bhakti Swami used to chant 42 rounds every day. Somebody asked him, Maharaj, you are so busy all day, how do you get time to chant 42 rounds? So before Mangalarti, you chant some rounds, and after Mangalarti, chant some rounds. He would finish 42. One of the days he was going out on this van book distribution. So there were some 10 rounds remaining. So he stopped the van one place and he was pacing and chanting. So when somebody asked him, why do you chant 42 rounds? You only, Prabhupada said 16 rounds minimum, he said, see, you guys are born in India. India is a Punya Bhumi. So you are pure. But because I am born in another land, different place where the culture is very bad culture, so I have to intensify my bhajan more in order to get purified. Like that he said. So that is the consciousness of a Vaishnava. Actually, he is already purified. But the way he thinks, correct, no? That is the type of consciousness, you see. So imagine if an Indian Goswami thinks that although I am coming as a caste Goswami, look at these ISKCON devotees, there are many of them are from abroad and they are so powerfully practicing. Like we have one Gaur Nataraj Prabhu here. Gaur Nataraj Prabhu, I don't know how many of you know, he is from France. He has completed Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, CC more than 4 times. And he has also read all Shivaram Swami's books also. Now, currently he is there in Govardhanaka village now, and he'll be coming on and off. I've been in regular mail touch with him. So I was telling him, you definitely must have done a lot in the previous life. I understand subject like anything, very quickly catches. So now, therefore, even though you are born in India, we should not be, it's called as basking in our own pride. Bharata Bhumi Punya Bhumi, therefore I am also great Punyatma, things like that. You should not be thinking. There are people like this. They have gone ahead and they have studied so much and they know so much knowledge very deeply. So we should be humble, and somebody born abroad, they should be humble also. Ultimately, whoever wants to become a good devotee should be. That's the point. And how can we apply this verse in our daily struggles with material identity? Actually, this verse is a great encouragement for those feeling very low. You see, I will just show you one picture. 1 minute. This example I'm going to show you, you will never forget it. It's a beautiful example it is. Yeah, see this? I'll make it bigger for you. This one. See here. See this lotus. Lotus growing in muddy water. If you see the lotus, you know, lotus is revered for its purity. Although it blooms in muddy water. Correct, no? Despite being rooted in mud, you will see the lotus rises above the surface, untouched by the dirt below. Correct, no? It comes out, you see, out of the muddy water, you'll see. And also it faces the sun, seeking light, not lamenting in the mud. You see? And it remains unsullied. The petals of lotus as well as the lotus leaf, you will see, it doesn't touch the water. So three very powerful things it teaches. In Grihastha ashram, you will find, Grihastha lives comes with many family karma, financial stress, emotional tension and all that. They are all compared to mud. For example, parents are worrying, daughter is not listening to mother, son is not listening to father. Sometimes husband, wife, there are tensions. You said this, I said that and all that, correct, no? All this is like mud. And also financial tensions. Sometimes health issues. Sometimes you feel that, there's so much problem, people get bogged down. Sometimes people keep the bead bag aside, first let us solve the problem. So that is like the mud. So if you keep the bead bag aside, that's like the lotus burying itself into mud. That means you become completely, that's what, if the lotus, instead of going up, it goes into the water and mud, it becomes muddy, correct, no? So then such grihasthas, because they become stooped in problems, they are not able to get out and they say, Krishna consciousness is too difficult, they say. No, it's not for me, they say. That's because they are going down into the mud. On the other hand, what the Lord is teaching us, you should transform domestic circumstances into spiritual strength. Using the mud, the lotus grows, like that it goes up. It comes out, it grows. You heard the story, once a donkey fell into a pit. And it was because it fell into a deep pit, legs were paining, it lied down and went to sleep. And some fellows thought that the donkey is died, let us bury it. They started throwing sand. And the donkey was shocked, hey, they want to bury me. And they started putting huge quantities of sand. And the donkey pushed all the sand below and jumped out finally. It used the sand to come out. Similarly, the lotus uses the mud to come out of the muddy water, correct? No, that's one thing. So use the household challenges to build tolerance and humility. And second thing, like the lotus is facing the sun, what should your practicing devotee do? Sun represents enlightenment, light. And sun represents warmth also. So you get warmth and light both simultaneously from the sun. So sun is Krishna, correct? No? Krishna Surya Sama? Yeah. If the lotus is submerged in the mud, it will be all darkness. But if it goes up, the devotee gets association of Krishna and the devotees. Warmth he gets from devotees. And also enlightenment he gets. And thirdly, practice detachment amidst affection. Serve with care, but don't cling with expectation. Like you see, rise above the tendency to blame others. Stay focused on Krishna's light. Sadhana, seva, sadhu sangha. These are all Krishna's light. When they focus on the sadhana and service and also sadhu sangha, Satyagrahastas not only get out of the muck of the mud, they are also able to powerfully represent the Guru Parampara and do wonderful things. Whoever you are, you are a boy or a girl or a grihastha or whatever. So you like this example? Yes. See here. Rises above the surface, faces the sun, remains unsullied or detached, remains detached. Like the lotus leaf doesn't touch the water. We should have detachment from expectations. We should not expect too much from others. Don't blame others. Don't have too much expectation. Do your best, whatever you can. And also live in this world in a renounced temperament with virakti. We should know that this material world is like a lodge. You don't expect to live in a lodge forever. When you go to a lodge, after 3 days you check out. Similarly, in this world we come and we have to check out. So we have come in this world, we'll stay for a while, we'll have to go out. So when you always keep this in mind, Viduraji was living like that. Live in a renounced temperament. We can always quit. Srila Prabhupada ki. It's very late now. If anybody has questions, I will answer you personally, I think. Others are hungry for prasadam now. Don't take prasadam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.